This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the supernatural horror, The Vigil. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
So, just coming off of Signs not too long ago, where we bitched about Abrahamic religions, meaning the Catholic or Christian versions, we dive into The Vigil, which is an Orthodox Jewish tradition horror movie.
Yeah, so we wanted to find at least one non-Christian, just like branching off from the stereotypical like Christmas time bullshit, because like fucking just because we grew up with Christmas doesn't mean that's all there fucking is.
Exactly. And I originally searched, and I told you, like, back in freaking October when I was going through movies for December, I was like, I would really like to find a Hanukkah movie.
Yes.
I'm aware, I believe Yom Kippur is actually the big Jewish holiday, but Hanukkah gets lumped in as the big holiday because of Christmas.
Yeah.
Which, happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. This should come out the morning of Hanukkah. So Hanukkah starts on sundown the 14th. This should come out the morning of the 14th.
Yeah.
So happy Hanukkah.
And I want to preface this too. We know very little to almost nothing about the religion itself. Most of the practices. I mean, obviously, like we know about the
menorah.
Yeah, and like we know about the basic, face stuff that you kind of see in media or like in general, but like we don't know a lot of stuff, so we may say things that are incorrect, or we are just like horribly
wrong. Please correct us.
It's like we know it's fine.
I have done my best to look up pronunciation guides. What I know about Hanukkah and the Jewish tradition all comes from the Rugrats special. I'm not gonna lie. I have tried to be better about it as, like, in the past few years, trying to, like, understand more religious practices outside of what is the big ones in the U.S. at least, which is all of the Christian holidays, meaning Easter, Christmas, like Good Friday, all of those kinds of things. Actual practicing with, I believe it's the Torah.
Yes.
And, like, I know base things about, like, the Old Testament is the Jewish tradition, while, like, the New Testament plus the Old Testament is the Christian Catholic version. And I know very, very base stuff, but I have been trying harder to not branch out, that's not the right word, understand other religions more.
Yeah.
And have a broader understanding of those things.
I don't know. The other thing, too, and I think we've mentioned this I think we talked about it in Signs briefly, just because of the like religious back-ended stuff. We aren't religious either, so like it's just a lot of
or structured religion.
Or yes, I guess
spiritual is probably more where I land on things.
Yes, we don't like. I don't go to church, man.
No, we don't go to church. We don't go to synagogue. We don't go to any temple of anything. Probably identify just as spiritual.
Yeah, no, we have our beliefs, but like it's not. Point is, like, I don't know.
We're pretty far removed from all of this, I think, is like the point. Also, before we get too far into this, we are recording off of one mic again.
Yeah, you may have noticed it sounds a little different. It may sound like a couple of like our beginning episodes maybe, and yeah, it's because we had to record on one mic today.
I was an idiot and left my mic stuff at home.
You are a human who makes mistakes.
I blame just coming off of... We're recording this the week after Thanksgiving, and so...
Holiday madness, everything gets moved out of boxes and cars and rearranged, and then when you try to get back to your normal life, everything's rearranged, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I grabbed the bag that should have had all the things in it, and because I took it to go out of town, it did not have all of the things in it. So here we are. So forgive us for the horrible audio, or hopefully not horrible, but less than standard audio we have been trying to produce recently.
As long as you can hear us spout words, I hope it's okay for this one. Just hang in there.
We'll fix it in post. We'll see what I can do. Make it better. But... All right, so the Vigil is...
It starts out with just like a black screen and like noises of like gunfire and stuff and like screaming.
Yeah, it's very like just abstract sounds with text that comes on screen explaining what the vigil is.
Yes.
Which is a Jewish practice, a Jewish ritual. I like try to paraphrase it, and the way I paraphrased it is Jewish people have a practice of the ritual of the vigil. So I might have phrased that wrong, but it's when someone in the community dies and you have either a close family member or someone in the community watch over the body.
A shomer.
Shomer, yes. That I had to phonetically type it out because I'm like, Shomer is not correct. And every pronunciation I saw was Shomer.
Yeah.
Shomer. And I was like, that's not right.
It's spelled Schomer, but it's pronounced Shomer.
Yeah.
Shomer.
But it explains what that is, and it's usually like what I was trying to read on it as well was that usually like it'll be someone from the community or a close enough family member where it's not a direct family member to kind of like help take that burden off.
Yeah. And
so the family can kind of do their own thing while knowing that the deceased person is being looked over. And like I saw it was like kind of the way of like calming the soul and like ushering them into their new life. And like I only read this one spot, so I might be wrong. You're not supposed to eat, drink, or smoke around the body because the person can't participate in those events anymore. So you're like showing disrespect. We'll touch on it here in a little bit where our main character also talks about like how he shouldn't be doing things and then does things.
Yeah. Immediately you're like, oh, okay. So interesting practice. Like get a little lore drop right in the beginning.
Yeah. Explains exactly what the title is. And it goes from that to jumping into a foggy forest with someone who's like pretty vaguely blurry. There you can tell it's a man dressed in like gray with someone behind him like yelling at him holding a really old-fashioned gun. World War II.
Yeah, like think of a Mauser, it's like a square clip and like a really thin barrel. I don't even know the time frame, but they're like you'd recognize them if you saw them. It's like it's a pistol with a really skinny barrel, and then like the clip part of it is like a big square, I think.
Like that, right?
No. That is a Luger. So that's close. It's
a long...
Yes, it's got the similar long barrel, but
what did you call it?
A Mauser. Mauser. That might...
No.
That's a rifle. Yep, I was wrong.
Well, we apparently don't... Out of all of the other things we don't know about, we don't know guns either.
They were innovative for their time because they were like one of the first high magazine semi-automatic pistols. So like you could have like this isn't accurate. It's not exactly 25, but you could have like a lot of ammo and like semi-automatic just like fucking be popping shit off.
Anyways, let's not get in the weeds on the guns because I did that with a knife. We've done that with so many random things every time they come up. But
you'd think with how we talked about this gun, it mattered. It really fucking doesn't.
It doesn't. Just our ADHD coming in being like, what is it? But it's being pointed at a, I don't know, early 20-ish, mid-20s woman.
Yeah,
back of her head, and she like turns around and you're the POV of the person holding the gun to her. And she, like, has this kind of, like, resigned look on her face. Like, she's not really crying, but you can see the sadness in her. And she just, like, knows. She's not even pleading or anything. She's just standing there being like, I guess this is it. Like,
and then you get the, like, this shot of this black figure just, like,
shambling.
Sauntering. Yeah, like, shambling towards them. Just, like, creepy. Immediately creepy because you're like, oh,
like Slenderman but shorter,
like Demons in the Woods. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's super creepy the way he I'm gonna go with he because they kind of say, I think they call it he later. He like shambles, like he's kind of like hunched and like kind of like moving his limbs in a way of like almost like Mr. Wiggs without the wiggly bit, just like moving his limbs like he's moving through the air type deal, like kind of clawing his way through it. And so it cuts back and forth between, like, this boy getting yelled at and this shadow, like, coming closer to him. And then you get some, like, chanting and, like...
creepy music kind of swells up, and then you get a gunshot, and it goes black.
cuts to black and shows us the title screen of The Vigil.
Yeah.
Instantly cutting to a guy stressing at himself in the mirror is how I wrote it. He's fussing, he's stressed, he's staring at himself, he's like messing with his hair. He has very short cropped hair too.
Yeah.
And he's just like fussing with himself, and he like ends up taking some medication and just kind of gets himself together. And the way they do transitions in this movie, like especially in this apartment, is pretty cool because it like the wall transitions are kind of one of my favorites, where it like cuts across the wall and then you're in a different room and the actors are already all set up in there. I really do like that.
Yeah.
So it cuts to that, and he's going to sit down at his spot, and it's 2 women and 4 men. I believe it's him and then 3 other men. I thought it was his apartment at first. It's not. He seems to be at like a support group.
Yeah.
For defected Jewish people.
Yeah, I think
defective Jews.
Yeah, who have like excommunicated themselves from their community, or I also it seemed like a mixture of that, but also like a group for people to maybe like come to as like be with against hate crime, if that makes sense. Like
oh yeah, because they kind of talked about that too, like
so like support groups that, because you have support groups for like alcoholics and you have support groups for like all sorts of different fucking shit. Mm-hmm. You even have support groups for people of color or people of like a minority group that, you know, experiences hate crimes daily. So it's almost like I thought it was like a mixture of that, as well as like like excommunicated from their communities, or like from the church at least. I don't know if it's like a Mormon thing where like if you have to choose to leave and then you are not allowed back kind of thing. So
it didn't seem like that, and the whole reason I don't think, at least with these people, is like the Mormon thing of like you were excommunicated and they say like fuck you, you're not allowed back. Because outside there was Reb. We learned his name in a little bit. I thought he was a rabbi, but they just keep calling him Reb. Mm-hmm. Or Rebbe. Yeah. But he is dressed in the very like traditional Jewish Orthodox style of like the black coat, the hat, the I was gonna look at the name, the like curly Q sideburns. Yeah. I don't know if those actually have a name or not. I should have looked that up before we started. I looked up what the prayer boxes were called and didn't look up that.
It also makes me laugh that like, do you remember that episode of Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
Where Megan has a boyfriend and they dress up like that. And sneak into a movie theater to try and spy on their sister. But, like, you can't do that.
No, you could not get away
Especially
with
how they acted, because they weren't acting like...
It does not have a pronunciation guide, but it's spelled Payos, the side curls. Payos?
Payos? Pios?
Yeah, I might be putting the wrong accent on there.
Payos? I don't know. Yeah. He's got that stuff on. He's got the hat, beard, and he's got like the nice suit, like the black dress suit. He's standing out underneath the street light, like
very Exorcist style.
Yeah, just below the apartment, and like
chain smoking.
Dude like looks down and like sees him just standing there, and he like looks up, and you're like, oh my god, is this guy in the mafia? Like, what the?
Yeah, it's very clear that he's like stalking this group of people, and the people in the room are talking about, like, why we think it's, like, an excommunicated thing, or they, like, left on their own accord, is they're talking about how different outside society is. They're talking about how, like, one of the women is talking about how crude the society is. Like, someone came up to her and was, like, instantly hitting on her, and she's like, I knew exactly what he wanted by what he was saying. He was so crude. And then the other woman was talking about, like, how just, like, casual physical touches. They were talking about cell phones and how, like, the rabbi... someone said protected us from all of this, and then someone was like, don't you mean hid us? Like, they hid all of this from us. And the other reason I don't think it's like excommunicated is probably the right word, is because one of the men is still wearing his yarmulke, while the others aren't. So it seems like there might be in like a phase of like, I don't want to be ultra orthodox, but I want to keep my faith type deal. Except our main character, he is very much like turning his back on all of this. Like, it seems like the others might be a bit more in the in-between of just like trying to be with like quote-unquote modern society but keep their faith besides him.
They're trying to walk both sides.
Yeah, he seems to be the one him, and then the guy running the group, his name is Lane. Lane also seems to be, like, very much, like...
Just modern side, like, they're just past it all.
What I want to say is westernized.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's correct either, but, like, he's very much, like, not a part of the faith at all, it seems. And, like, him and Yaakov go outside, and Lane's like, what are you doing here? Don't make me call the cops on you. Like, goes off on Reb in, like, all sorts of ways. And
Yaakov's like, no, dude, it's like, let me just talk to him, man. Like,
I'll talk to him. It's fine. He's like, you tell me if anything gets weird. Like, I'm right there. I'm right in the apartment. Yeah. You call me if this guy gets weird on you.
You come get me if you get uncomfortable.
Which, like, good for him. Like, I like that he has, like, this support group around him, that if he does want to, like, step away from this, he still has a support system.
Yeah.
They start walking. Reb kind of talks to him about, like, so I know you're on hard times. Like, how's that going for you? Like, and kind of, like, ebbs back and forth of being like, oh, like, the community and, all of us here versus, like, we know you're struggling really bad.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Yaakov is like, why are you here? Like, just tell me what you want from me. And he says, I need a... Can you say it again? Shoimer. I need a shoimer for tonight. The guy I had backed out last minute.
Yeah.
And they haggle for a hot second. Reb offered 200. Yaakov went with 5. And they settled on 4.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm experienced. You need someone who's done this before. I've done this before. You came to me. Pay me what I want. And he's like, yeah. 400, not $1 more.
Yeah. Which, like, $400 for 5 hours?
That seems like a lot. And given, like, what we know about this practice, like, sometimes that seems like a lot. Like, it said sometimes they're paid because I think, like I said earlier, it's more of it's
just
out of the kindness.
Yeah.
To, like, help ease the family versus, like, getting paid for it. So that's a shit ton of money for doing this, I assume.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's there for 5 hours. So, like, what's his hourly rate right now? Insane.
Yeah, exactly. So they end up walking, like, to this place. And
I think it's in Brooklyn. Because I was watching that video, like, right before we started to make sure I was getting some of these pronunciations right. They're like, oh, in all of these places. In Brooklyn. And I was like, oh. So I think they're supposed to be in Brooklyn, and they walk from, like, where this support group was
because
into the community proper.
They do have those, like, specific communities there.
Oh, yeah. I feel like in New York proper, like, New York City proper, right? Like,
they have
Brooklyn's not New York, but...
They have their blocks, their, like, city blocks, it's all kind of segmented off into everyone's little spaces.
I think of, have you seen you don't really watch musicals. Into the Heights. That's a fun one. That's like a Latin community.
I want to watch more musicals. Like,
the next one, we need to watch Repo the Genetic Opera, and I think that'll help a lot. Because, like, spooky movie, musical style.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I'm down.
But yeah, no, it's they, like, go into that community, and the entire time Reb is talking about how, like, this will bring you closer to God. It'll bring you closer to the community. And Yaakov is just like, bro, stop. Like, this isn't what we're here to talk about.
It's like, listen, man, like, I appreciate you, but I'm just here for money. And that's it. And it'll always be like that. Like, you cannot, like, you're not going to convince me otherwise.
Yeah. And so once he, like, kind of shuts down the whole, like, I'm not doing this for my community. I'm doing it for the money. Once he shuts down that conversation, Reb then talks about who he's watching over, which is Mr. Litvak. Mr. Litvak, who is a Holocaust survivor. He lost his entire family in the Holocaust. He came over to the States to start his own new life, but, like, as soon as he got here, he really turned into a recluse, and no one really knows him or his family very well.
Yeah.
They don't really have anyone else. And his Mrs. Litvak is, they say she's suffering from dementia.
Mm-hmm.
But
Alzheimer's.
Well, yeah. So, she's a frail older lady as well, and, like, her doing, this till dawn isn't good for her either.
Yeah.
As soon as they get in there, though, she is not happy about Yaakov being here.
She looks at Yaakov and is like, nope, not him. He can't do it. Nope, get him out of here.
He will not work. He needs to leave now. Get him out of my house now. He shouldn't be here.
Reb's like, no, like, it's okay.
You asked for Schleimer. I got you one. And she's just like, does not like it. She starts singing.
And just walks upstairs into the darkness. And when I say that, like, there's like a light next to, you know, the start of the stairs, like at the bottom. Like
in the foyer area. It's a townhome. So as soon as you walk in the door, it's like stairs, and then your immediate right or your immediate left is the living room, and then like
there's a hallway directly in front of you next to the stairs that leads to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those tight little spaces. Upstairs is just pitch black.
Pitch black. Like, you can see everything downstairs is pretty, like, lit enough. Like, it's not, like, bright light. Like, everything's kind of lit by lamps. But as soon as you get past, like, the 6th stair, it's pitch black.
It gave me Skinamarink vibes.
Yeah.
Like, that's that kind of blackness.
Yeah, it was, like, not even trying to hide the fact that it's darkness. Like, you know how sometimes people will put, like, oh, a little light up there, so it's like you can see what's happening. No. Bitch goes upstairs, is gone.
We should also point out that in the living room area, like, when you walk in and to the left in the living room, is up against the window, like...
On a gurney
is the dead body.
Is
like,
Mr. I keep losing
Litvak.
Litvak?
Like, Litvak?
Litvak. His body is there with
covered by
a sheet with the Star of David on it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is what Yaakov is here for, is to watch over the body. And so
he's supposed to, for the next 5 hours, just pray over it, and essentially what we discussed earlier, like, usher his soul into, you know,
his next life, or just protect the soul until whatever
as
happens
it passes.
Next. Yeah. Reb, before he goes, he does recite some of Psalms, and then tells Yaakov that his house is down the street. If anything happens, if you want to join me for morning prayer, if you want to talk about anything, like, I'm just down the street. And he's like, dude, chill. I'm here for the money. And he's like, I was just saying, like, you know, after tonight, you might want to come to morning prayer. It might help you.
Yep.
And, like, to be fair, you are chilling with a dead body all night. Like, I could understand why someone would be like, yeah, I want to go to mass, or I want to go to, like, the synagogue. Like, that is definitely, especially because this is, like, a religious ritual, like, the toll on that, especially if you are supposed to be reciting prayers all night. Yeah. The mental and physical toll, like, I understand where Reb is coming from, but he's also being so pushy with someone who's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like I stated earlier, during the vigil, he isn't supposed to eat, sleep, or drink, or do any of those things. He's not supposed to,
like, sit there and pray, I think.
Yeah, so what I saw is, like, really, really, like, ultra-Orthodox is, like, you sit there and, like, you pray the entire time.
Yeah.
Some I've seen, you just have to be in the same room. Another one I've seen is that you just have to be in the same building.
Interesting.
So it depends on, like, the level of, not severity, level of, like, tradition you're following. Okay. Seeing as how strict everyone has been thus far, I'm assuming he's supposed to be praying, if not the entire time, the majority of this time. Instead, he throws in some fucking headphones and sits on his phone.
He goes into, so, like, right behind the living room is the kitchen, right? Like, so the downstairs is essentially just, like,
an open concept-y.
Yeah, like 3 squares. One's the living room, one's the dining room, one's the kitchen, and then it's like the hallway next to the stairs.
It's like an L. Like, if you go left into the living room, the next chunk is the dining room, and then you turn right, so it makes that L shape into the kitchen.
Yeah, so he goes and sits in the dining room with his back to the body, and just, like, puts some headphones in and starts listening to some fucking
heavy techno is what the subtitle
said.
said.
I was gonna say some fucking bumping techno.
He starts to Google how to talk to women.
Yeah. Meanwhile, as he's Googling, there are, like, noises and thumping going on upstairs, which I guess for a little bit, it's, like, kind of few and far between.
And Mrs. Litvak is upstairs, so it's not like he's alone.
He's just kind of like, he notices it every now and then. But then at one point, as he's scrolling through all these, like, Google search cues of, like, how to talk to women, at some point, it just, like, is nonstop. There's just, like, a nonstop, like, more rhythmic, like, banging and, like, noise coming from upstairs. So he ends up taking his headphones out, stands up. Oh, God. He walks over to, like, back into the living room.
And it's like enough to freak him out that he starts reading songs out loud.
That's right, yeah.
So he starts reading that. Oh, I do want to point out he's not just looking up how to talk to women just for shits and giggles. At the meeting, a woman asked him to go to tea.
Oh, yes.
To get tea or coffee, and they were trying to figure it out, and like she tried to hug him goodbye, and he's like, I'm still trying to learn the rules, because again, no touching, like they're very specific. Oh, I didn't say that on the podcast. What I was reading with ultra orthodox, there's very clear rules on how opposite sexes can interact, and one of the things is not touching women not touching people of the opposite sex unless they're like married or very, very close family.
Yeah.
So when she goes to hug him, he's startled because he's not used to being touched like that when he's an unmarried man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like he's got this girl who was hitting on him at this meeting, and so yeah, he's in his free time trying to Google like how to talk to women. It's not like he's just some fucking incel. He genuinely like...
He's like, how do I interact on this tea date we have going on?
Like, what the fuck? And you see a sort of interaction play out with this, because like she gives him her number before like they both leave the place, and while he's in this vigil, he's like texting her.
Yeah, it'll show... It shows him a few times texting her, and he's like, it shows it on screen, obviously, right? So, like, you see him text, and it's like, pointer finger to screen, H-E-Y, stays there for a second, period, send. Like, homie uses, like, correct punctuation and all this kind of stuff, and if I was talking to someone like that, I'm like, wow, this person hates me.
Oh, yeah, especially because, like, he's like, hey. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, working. I probably shouldn't be on my phone. And she's like, oh, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, with a frowny face. And then he
goes to put his phone away. And then she texts him back because, like, that's how texting conversation goes. And he's obviously annoyed. Like, he shows it on his face that he's like, I just told you I'm working. Why the fuck are you still talking to me? But he also gets jump scared by a cockroach that scuttles across the floor and hits his shoe.
A cockroach? It looked like a fat little spider.
Oh, I thought it was a cockroach.
It looked like one of those little spiders that, like, its body it's like a little chody. And it's just got, like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Either way, I hate it.
No, I hate it too. But, like, I don't know. That one is at least a little cuter than... I don't like any spiders, but...
He also, like... There are cuts back and forth between, like, him and then the body under the sheet. And at some point, there's, like, a titty bit of movement of the hand under the sheet. And he's like, yeah, I'm not noticing that. And he, like, ignores it.
That was before the, like, cockroach or spider,
it's
though.
Literally
so, like,
right before the cockroach.
So he's when that happens, I think then he's like, oh, there's probably just a fucking bug under there. Like, ooh, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Then... There's a thump that comes from the kitchen is the next part.
Yes.
And so before we get into this part, this movie does wide shots that you think something is going to happen from anywhere behind him because of how wide every single shot is.
You're in a fisheye the whole time. And you don't even realize you're in a fisheye until, like, some scenes later on in the movie when it's, like, panning through. And you can, like, see the warping on the side of the screen.
It makes it, like... I didn't like it at first. Because I was like, this is the worst. This is, like, the worst transition. It's making me, like, feel super motion sick. But, like, looking back on it, it gives you that weird, like, warble effect of, like, what's real and what isn't.
Yeah. Well, and I think maybe that's why all the shots of, like, looking into, like, down the hallway and, like, looking up the stairs into the blackness reminds me of Skinamarink. Because it's got that, like, warped, like... It almost just doesn't feel like his house and these rooms like feel bigger at some times because of the lighting and like the space is so small, but it feels big and different. Like between the fisheye lens and the lighting and like the cinematography, it's just like it's weird how it kind of like plays with your mind.
Yeah, and this we always talk about like quick cuts. This movie, like, lingers on shots. And so your eyes kind of start to wander of, like, what am I missing? Why are we in this shot so long? And so it really, like, preps you for something.
Yeah.
And so this scene, like, you're already a little bit prepped because you've seen these wide shots. And then we saw the texting, right? And I was like, oh, they're doing the wide shots because there's going to be a lot of texting and you need to see that on screen. And it's not as much as you think it's going to be. And so it's like this thumping happens in the kitchen and he like looks over into the kitchen and it's very dark on like the back wall of the kitchen. And you're like, that's really weird that it's that dark, but like it is nighttime and there's not any lights on in there.
But then like as it focuses into the back of the dining room, you like see this figure like in the back right corner just like standing there, and then its fucking head like twitches to the other side, like it looks to the other side, and it fucking startles him, so he like grabs his phone and pulls out like turns on the flashlight, shines it over in the corner, and of course there's nothing there. It's just
a wall. Like, I think there's maybe an ironing board on the wall or something. Like, he thought it might be Mrs. Litvak.
Yeah.
He's like, are you over there? And the flashlight thing is funny because earlier when he was getting Sarah's number, he was like, the only thing I know how to do is I accidentally stumbled upon the flashlight, and that's like my favorite thing. Yeah. And so obviously, like him being like, ha, I have a flashlight.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Cracked us up.
He sits back down, and as he's sitting back down or like getting settled, a photo falls out of the torah.
Yes.
And it's a family photo, mom, dad, and I think 2 or 3 kids. Mm-hmm. And as he's like running over it, there's like a weird shadow in between, like behind the dad and between the mom and dad in the very back. Mm-hmm. And he flips it over, and it says the Mazik, July 27th, 19 something. I didn't get the year.
1970 something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like creepy picture.
And I actually be doing research into the movie, right? I was like, oh, the Mazik. Mm-hmm. Like, because I was trying to find, you know, a Jewish themed movie. And so the movie I wanted us to watch was the short film one that I was like, oh, it's probably too short to do a full episode on. Also talks about a Mazik.
Oh, shit.
And so as soon as I saw that on the photo, I was like, oh, I know where this is going.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So that was fun for me. But he like puts it back in the Torah and is like, well, I'm a nap now.
Yeah.
And he just like settles into this chair and I'm like, for what? Like I knew the rules. And homie is like killing all of the rules off of the bat.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're not into this religion anymore or into these practices anymore, but you're getting paid to do a job. Do your fucking job.
Yeah. No, he passes out for like almost an hour. He wakes up at like almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
We get the flashback thing where it's like he like falls asleep, and then this also reminded me of Signs. Like anytime like dad went to sleep, we got a flashback of mom. Very similar of he goes to sleep and we get a flashback of him dressed as like very the traditional Orthodox Jewish style, you know, the suit, how do we decide to say it? The payar?
Payo.
I'm so sorry. I feel terrible.
Payo.
And what makes it worse is like I just like read a Reddit story or like a Reddit post being like, I hate it when podcasters can't pronounce things fucking right. Like you have all day to practice. And I'm like, I'm doing my fucking best, I promise. I'm so sorry. Like, I am trying. We're trying.
We're trying. It's, you know...
Just because I can look up pronunciations doesn't mean I can replicate the sounds that come out of the pronunciation.
Yeah. Also, like, if you see something written in a movie and they never actually speak it out loud, you're like, but what? But how? What does it mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, tried our best.
The side locks is what it's called in English. We will call them side locks.
Yeah. So, the only reason we know how to pronounce Shoimer is because they say it a bunch in the movie.
They do. Anyways, and with his, like, hat and the whole getup, and he has a little kid with him dressed... weirdly.
Dressed weirdly.
He's got, like, a hard hat on.
Yeah.
Is it Halloween?
And long blonde hair.
Yeah, like he's growing out his side locks. But he's dressed really oddly, and I don't know why he's dressed that way.
Yeah.
I don't think they celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, no, it's just a weirdly dressed kid.
Or maybe it is Halloween. I don't know.
But they didn't express, like...
They didn't express that. Like, he just has a hard hat on and maybe a vest. Does he have a vest on, too?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
So anyways, he's walking with this kid and they're like joking around and, you know, walking down the a sidewalk that has...
Like scaffolding.
Thank you, scaffolding.
Like walking under the scaffolding.
Like construction area, and 3 guys start shoving him and the kid around because they're Jews.
Yeah.
Because they're dressed the way they are, and his phone goes off and he wakes up, and that's when we figure out, like, he looks at the clock and it's been like an hour, and he, like, tries to get in his pants pocket to get his phone, and his whole hand, like, spasms and crackles really weird.
Yeah. Like, it sounds like bones breaking. It's like a loud, like, crack and, like, a crunch. It's
this, your stereotypical body crack sounds you hear in horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you hear the sound, you're like, oh, that's a body.
Yeah.
Like, at least for me, every time I hear that type of sound, I'm like, oh, that's a body crunching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And his instinct is to look at the body. The body's fine. The body's still there. It's still chilling.
Yeah.
This is where the texting actually happens. He didn't, like, full-on text her earlier.
Okay, yeah.
This is where the texting happens. You know, he texts, like, his little old man. He hears creaking upstairs, followed by a door opening.
Mm-hmm.
He continues explaining about his night, what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. As he's texting, the lamp closest to him starts flickering, and as soon as he stops texting, it stops. And then he texts again, and it happens again, and he's like, what the fuck is happening? He, like, touches the lamp, and then all of the lamps starts, like, freaking out and flashing.
Yeah.
Every time he does something a Schwimmer shouldn't do, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Until he gets up, he, like, tells Sarah, I'll talk to you later. Like, I gotta deal with stuff. He gets up, and he goes to, like...
He walks over to the lamp next to the dead body, and, like, as it's going crazy, he reaches his hand in and, like, goes to mess with the bulb, and then it explodes. But, like, he doesn't really react to it exploding. He just kind of, like, pulls his hand back out after it pops.
He looks up the stairs like a kid caught with his hand in a cookie jar, like, oh my god, am I gonna get yelled at?
Yeah, like, oh shit, I broke her bulb.
And then his phone goes off again, and he's really annoyed because he's like, I just told Sarah, like, I would talk to her later, like, why is she texting me? And it's a video of him napping. It's
like someone holding a camera walking up to him as he's napping in the chair. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he got it was a message from an unknown number.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's so weird. And it like waddles up to him, and then like an old lady hand comes out from behind the camera and strokes his hair.
Yeah.
And his first reaction is to go check out his head in the clock face.
Yeah, like to see if she like stole some hair or something, like this is weapons. Like, I don't fucking know.
And he calls up to Mrs. Litvak and is like, were you down here? Like, hello? And he gets no answer. So he goes to watch the video again, but the video is gone. No media found.
Yeah, it's like not there. And he hears the noise in the kitchen. It's like a crunching. It's that like crunching noise again. And he looks into the kitchen and he sees these feet, just the feet sticking out from the doorway. They're like black.
Yeah, so it's like they're black socks with black pants. Like everything is black, and it like the way it meshes, it feels like the whole limbs are black. Like this is just a black being, except the big toe that is sticking out of the black sock that is scratching itself against the tile repeatedly, just so much until it rips off the goddamn toenail. And then the light turns on in the kitchen because it was dark in the kitchen, and then something drags the legs away.
Yeah, and he runs into the living room and like looks into the dining room like to see the perspective of like where the body would have been pulled, and there's nothing in there. And you're like, oh my fucking god. Okay.
Rightfully so. He calls his doctor.
Yeah, he calls his fucking doctor and he's like, bro, I'm not doing good. Like, I'm seeing shit.
And I'm hearing shit.
Like, he doesn't even try to sugarcoat it. He's just like, bro.
But he says it in a way that, like, it's been worse than it ever has been. I don't really think I don't think I need to go back to the hospital. I'm just, like, panicking. So if you could call me back and you're like, oh no. Like, that was the medication he was taking.
He mentioned that he took an Ativan, which I don't know what that medicine is specifically for, but our ADD is going to figure that out right fucking now.
I was going to look it up and I forgot.
Yeah, he says he took an Ativan, which...
Oh, it's a benzo.
Oh, okay. So it's just anti-anxiety, right?
Benzos are the ones that get abused quite frequently. It's for severe anxiety disorder, insomnia, temporary situational stress.
But it is like a stronger, it's not a sedative necessarily, but it is like a fucking calmer. Yeah, so he's like telling him, telling his, not his doctor, whatever is like.
No, it's his doctor.
I guess it is his doctor, but it's like the dude from earlier.
No.
Is it just his psychiatrist, I guess?
Yeah, no, it's Doctor. I have his name somewhere.
I thought it was the dude from the beginning for some reason.
No, that's Lane. So
Right.
it's his like actual psychiatrist or no, I would assume they're prescribing medication. I would assume it's a psychiatrist.
Yeah. So he leaves a voicemail, or he's like leaving a voicemail telling all of this. Or he gets like he leaves the message and then
he goes into the kitchen. He like gets his pill packet out. So he has his little pill things of all his Ativan in there.
Yeah.
And he goes into the kitchen and gets the tiniest glass of water, like a normal size glass, but with the tiniest amount of water I've ever seen in it.
Yeah.
And he hears a thump or something, and he like goes to check it out and like looking down the hallway again. And he's like, you know what, fuck it. He pops his medication, goes to drink his water, and then like spits it out because the entire glass is like. He looks down and it's black.
like, yeah, it's like this black gooey like.
Ichor.
Fucking, yeah, disgustingness. So he drops the glass and it like shatters and the gross shit's all over the floor. And he's like sitting there gagging and coughing and like choking.
Oh, I hate this part. Yeah. I hate this shit.
And then he has to fucking like reach his pointer finger and his thumb like down his throat to like grab
whatever he's choking on.
Whatever he's choking on.
It's a fucking hairball, man.
Pulls it out. And it's this, like, moving hairball that, like, he throws it on the ground and then it, like, fucking, like, caterpillar slugs away. Like,
is it Grudge? The Grudge that, like, has someone choking on hair?
Yes, I think so.
That's, because I think, like, most people our age, the Grudge and the Ring get conflated in my head quite a bit, but I think it's the Grudge that, like, does the weird hair shit.
Yeah, no, I mean... The Ring just has, like, she just has, like, the long hair, but it's not, like, the Grudge is the one that, like...
uses the hair, right? Yeah. So the Grudge is exactly what I thought of. Well, isn't it in, like, Rings? Like, one of the newer Ring movie? No, because that's just, like... Never mind. We'll do The Ring eventually. I read the book.
I'm excited for that one. Yeah. I love Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, that happens. And Mrs. Litvak turns on the light and is like, damn... It's fine. Yeah, that's not a nightmare. Like, that's a memory.
Yeah, she's like, it's not a nightmare.
They're memories, but not yours.
Yeah. And then he looks down and it's like just a regular glass of water that he dropped on the floor.
Yeah, with all the shattered glass. And he says he's just the Schweimer there to, you know, what did he say? Protect her husband's soul. And she's like, from what?
Yeah.
And he has no answer for her.
Yeah.
She starts singing again and, like, shushes him, like, holds up her finger to her lips so he doesn't talk. Mm-hmm. And when I was looking up Schweimer, not on here, but on a different website, they actually go over, like, the prayers and, like, what you should say or the things you can say. And I'm curious to know if she was singing one of those. Because they don't, in the subtitles, it doesn't tell you what she's saying. It just says singing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even, like, I don't know Yiddish.
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
So I didn't know what she was saying, but like on one of the websites I was trying to do research on, they like had a prayer or a song, and so I was curious to know if that's what she was singing. Oh, she's like, "Do you know my children?" And he's like, "No."
Oh yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, I drove them away, far away, on purpose. They think they did it of their own accord. Nah, I drove those bitches out."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Do you know my husband?" And he's like, "No, what? I don't know anything." But she like talks about how the house is a bunker.
Yeah,
a bunker in the wilderness, somewhere you go but never return from.
The reason that I was just like letting you explain all this is because it lost me there pretty hardcore for a second. I remember like clocking back in and being like, what the fuck?
So I think what's happening here, from what we know of watching the full movie, I think what's happening here is so she knows that it's a mazik. And so she drove her kids out because she knows what happens when her husband dies, right? So she's like, get the fuck out of my house. I would rather you hate me than this shit happen to you.
Yes.
And I think what she's talking about with the bunker is the memories. Because she says a bunker in the forest, somewhere where you go and never come back from. I think she knows what memories the Mazik was showing Mr. Litvak. my bad. God, I don't know what it is with their names that I keep flipping letters.
You're good.
I think she's talking about the opening scene where, like, they take you out into the forest, out into a bunker, and you die. And you never come back.
Yeah, okay.
And so I think for her, like, the house has become like that bunker where you go and you never leave.
That makes sense. See, I was... Head's been a little cloudy today, so when we watched it, we both sat and watched it together. I was just like, oh, okay. It's kind of like when you are, like, at a city bus stop, like a dude comes up, like a homeless dude, but, like, he's getting on the bus too, and he just starts talking to you about, like, stuff that, like, you should know. Like, he thinks you should know about his personal life. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And you're just like, you look at him and you're like, I know, man. I get it. Mm-hmm. Shit, man. It's rough, you know? That's kind of what I was doing. I was just like, yeah, man. Like,
that's rough, buddy.
I get it, Granny. It's tough in here, you know. Spooky times with the Mezic and everything. The Mazic. Mazic.
So what I saw a Reddit post about how to like, they say it a bunch in the movie, but the Reddit post I keep remembering, it's like, yeah. So it's like the emphasis I think is less on the A. Like I think it's a softer, like a Mazic. Mazic.
Yeah. Okay.
She like talks about. No, it's fair. This scene is a lot.
I had to explain why I couldn't explain this scene because like it felt like I was floating. It's very like
what's not hyperbolic. And the thing where you use other. What did you just do? You used like
analogy.
Yeah, it's very like I was gonna say analytical, but that's not the. It's very like.
I was gonna say analgesic, but that's not it either.
Like she's using other things, kind of. It feels like trying to explain a concept that no one's aware of. Like you're trying to compare things to someone, and he's like, I don't know what's happening, because she talks about like she just dives into her husband and is like, he was broken by memories, those kinds you saw. They bit and kept biting and they never stopped.
Yeah.
And like just using a lot of flowery language to talk about like a real situation, like very descriptive, something you would see like in a novel type language.
Yeah.
Like I always see that described as like flowery when you use a lot of words that don't actually like aren't quote unquote correct for the situation.
Yeah. It's more just like fluff. Almost.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like just fluffy words.
Yeah.
She says he's lost and he didn't know what to do. And then freaking Yakov is just like, I'm sorry I woke you. You should really go back to bed.
Yeah. Well, because I think the whole time he's still just like...
He's kneeling on the ground. He's about to clean up the water.
He also just like thinks this woman has Alzheimer's and dementia. So like I don't know if he thinks anything that she's saying currently. I think he's in the same mode as I was of just like, well why don't we just get you back into bed, huh? Because this has been a long day for you. Like that kind of energy. That's
fair. I could see it being that way. She then picks up a shard of glass and just crushes it in her hand until she's bleeding everywhere, and then goes like, and he's like, what the fuck, let me help you. And like before he can, like, he turns around to like get something to help her, and she's back upstairs. She like wanders, and as she's like passing this door to the basement, she opens it and stares at him and goes upstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't just don't. Why would you? The basement?
Yeah.
Why would you? The old lady who's creeping you the fuck out is like, hey, go in my basement, and you're just gonna fucking go in the basement? What?
To be fair, like, if I had a crazy old lady like that who, like, wasn't necessarily harming me, but just, like, being crazy in that, right, I'd be like, what am I going to see down there? Like, am I going to walk down there and just see, like, a bunch of headless chickens? Or, like, you know, is her dog just going to be, like, you know, without its legs? Or, like, what the fuck? So, yeah, why?
I think I would eventually go into the basement, but I don't think I would do it right off the bat. I'd be like, that's wild.
I think I'd call my doctor and be like, I'm going into the basement of this place. I need you to be on the phone with me, okay?
Well, anyway,
call Sarah, the fucking girl that he was texting earlier, because at one point she was like, call me or FaceTime me if you get bored. I'd fucking do that. It'd be like, you're coming with me down into this basement.
That's fair. I think I would do that. But on the counterpoint of that, he is not used to having a phone. So I think he kind of forgets that he can, like, have a human kind of there with him.
Yeah.
So he does go into the basement. And in the basement is super dark. The movie, did you notice this? The movie gets progressively more dark.
Yeah, they do. They definitely just, like, they push a lot of just, like, black towards you to really, like,
it's very like a suffocating like thing. It's really nice. It also like makes sense because like we're getting into the wee hours of the morning, but it's also just like it reminds me of like the Silent Hill fog, where it's kind of just like forcing this like claustrophobia of like it's surrounding you more. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But he goes into the basement and it's again pitch dark down there except for a door that's cracked that's playing a TV, and you can see like the TV flashing, and he opens the door. And it's Mr. Litvak speaking about demons on the TV.
He's on the TV and he's essentially talking about like how this thing has been like following him or not. I can't remember the words that he used exactly, but like
he said it followed him home.
Yeah. Meaning did it followed him from...
They say the name once and I didn't catch it. I think it might be in the wiki. Followed him from... Buchenwald?
Buchenwald. Interesting.
Yep. So he was there doing unspecified. He says it just follows him home. That this thing is, they aren't connected to a higher power. They're just animalistic demons. 5 decades ago, one followed him home.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
He's 50 years.
Yeah.
He's had this thing attached to him.
Just like, again, like his wife was saying, like biting away at his fucking psyche, like just kind of like tearing away pieces of his fucking like sanity.
Yeah, he goes on to say it was lying in wait until his pain awakened it. A figure with its head turned all the way around to stare into the past.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it didn't click with me.
Yeah, that'll come back into
Makes
play.
sense. Yeah, we'll talk about why.
And what else? He says it shows him dreadful things. Like it literally just like kind of feeds off of his pain. So to make like, you know, to eat more, he shows it more and more terrible things. And the wall behind the TV is just plastered with like pictures and notes and texts and all of these things of like all of his research. And that's what he's saying in the video that's playing. Like I've been researching these things, and you know there's more than one and they exist, and like almost like he's giving a lecture about stuff. But right about now is when I stopped paying attention to everything he was saying, because Yakov zones in on Mrs. Litvak, who's behind Mr. Litvak.
Who's like looking over, she like kind of like clocks in and looks over at the camera and like kind of leans towards it and is like mouthing something. Yakov's kind of honing in on it, like looking closer and closer, trying to figure out like what she's mouthing. And then like as Mr. Litvak finishes his sentence, she says the words, behind you, and you're like, oh my fucking god, okay.
I did catch, like, while she was doing that, and, like, as we're getting this next scene, Mr. Litvak says that he found a text saying the only way to escape it is to burn its true face on the first night it appears, and if you don't do it by dawn, it won't leave you.
Yeah.
And so he's like, that time has long passed for me, and so, like, the camera zooms out, and you're watching the back of Yakov, and he's just, like, crouched in front of the TV, and he's like, oh no, and he like slowly turns around, and this thing fucking it reaches its creepy ass little salad fingers out, and like it's gonna grab him, and like my first thought was the Hat Man.
Yeah.
Like this entire time, so up to this point, like because we've only really seen like shadows and stuff, I was like, oh my god, it's like it's a different version of the Hat Man.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah. No, it's fucking creepy. He like blacks out, doesn't he?
No, he stumbles his way up the stairs, but like as he's stumbling his way up the stairs, he hits his shin really bad.
Oh, that's right.
And so he's like stumbling into the kitchen. He's like holding his shin.
Yeah.
The music choices for the scene, the music choices are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I love the sound design and everything for the movie. It's so good.
At this point, I also said in my notes, I'm like, oh, cool. Could you imagine already having a mental illness that results in hallucinations and dealing with this?
I know. Oh my God.
Because everyone in horror movies, they're like, oh, I wouldn't stay. I wouldn't do that. 1, homie's getting paid for a job. 2, homie's used to seeing hallucinations and hearing hallucinations that half of him is probably like, again, why he called his doctor. He's like, well, we're doing this again. So like, it is what it is.
Yeah. So like, who's to fucking say?
The doctor calls.
That's right. Yes, the doctor finally calls back, like answering from his voicemail from earlier.
He starts explaining the situation where he is, what he's been seeing, like what he's been hearing, all these kinds of things. And the doctor is like, do you believe it's real?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't believe it's real. That's why I called you. Like, I know it's not real. It can't be real. But the entire time, like, he's on the phone, I was like, why does it sound so weird?
Yeah, because the doctor's, like, asking questions that aren't... Some of them, like, a lot of them are, like, genuine questions that you'd think a doctor would ask. But then there were some that, like, he's like, what does it look like?
He really hammers in on the, what does it look like?
Yeah,
well,
like,
tell me what it looks like.
Yeah, well, he's like, do you think it's a demon? Like...
who do you think it is?
Yeah, he's like, who do you think it is? What does it look like? And the whole time, Yakov's like, dude, I don't know. I keep telling you, I don't know. And he's like, but I need you to just try and tell me, who does it look like? And you're like, what the fuck?
And then Yakov is like, it's blurry. Like, it's dark and blurry. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, and he's trying his best to explain it, but, like, the phone call itself, like, has, like, a crackly, like, distance to it. And because it's a movie, right? Like, half of me is always like, oh, did they just, like, have a shitty recording for this? Or is this actually part of the movie?
Yeah.
And they just start talking about, like, oh, his PTSD and his fears with his brother. And, like, this is when I noticed that the house is, like, progressively getting darker. Because now the kitchen is almost completely dark. Like, you don't really get to see anything into the kitchen. He keeps asking more questions about the shadows. Like, wanting to know what he looks like. Oh, Kohlberg is the doctor's name.
Yes.
Dr. Kohlberg. And then the doc is like, is its head turned around? You're like, what? And you hear the body creaking sounds. And he's like, is the head turned around?
Yeah.
And then the phone goes off again.
Yeah, and then the phone goes off, and Yakov answers it, and it's the doctor, and he's like, hey, man, sorry I missed your call. Like, I've been real busy. Like, I hope you're doing okay.
And the call crystal clear, and you're like, oh, no,
like,
that was...
Oh, shit.
And at this point, Yakov has gotten up, and the head is twitching and moving under the sheet of the body for Mr. Litvak.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? And, okay, but Yakov right here, first doctor, he's like, oh, doc, I'm gonna have to put you on hold. And so he puts him on hold and answers the other call, gets through that whole spiel with that doctor, and is like, I'm gonna have to put you on hold, and puts the real doctor on hold to talk to the fake doctor again.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This is another one where, and I know I've talked about this before, but like a lot of the scenes have the exact same color, and because they happen in the same room, some of them like blend together. Mm-hmm. So I can't remember if this is where like, because the head's twitching under the sheet, but then it's not when like it fucking... No.
So during this like doctor call thing, Björk, his brother's name is, it's I tried to phonetically spell it, so now I don't have the real spelling. I think he said Björk. Asks him, like, it's his little brother's voice, and he's like, why did you let me die?
Oh, yeah.
And then you pan over to the freaking stairs, and it looks like Mrs. Litvak is walking up backwards.
Yeah, she's like fucking...
high-kneeing backwards.
But not walking, like high-kneeing quickly up the stairs backwards into the dark.
And he's like, Mrs. Litvak, and he runs over there, and she's like, do you want some tea, dear? And she's standing next to him with tea. Him.
And you're like, okay, what the fuck? Is this one even real? Or is it gonna like feed him some demon tea?
And then he's like, we need to leave. And she's like, my obligation is to my home. Also, I can't. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah. She's like, also, you can't either. Like, and he's like, what the fuck do you mean I can't? Like, what are you like? What the fuck?
Yeah, so she explains that it's like a cat and mouse game, that like the mazik is the cat playing with him as a mouse and just like getting his fun, but she's like, my pain isn't great enough for it, so like it won't just feed off of me, but it also doesn't let me leave the house. Like I physically can't leave. If you try to leave, you'll be on your knees crawling back here. And he's like, we need to go.
Yeah.
And she's he's like, come with me. And she's like, I'm not fucking leaving. He's like, I'm gonna go get Reb. His house is down the street. I'm gonna grab him. We're gonna come back and we're gonna get you out of here because we need to leave this house.
Yeah. He ends up going out. Like, he actually leaves the house. He starts walking and maybe like, not even too far off the property.
His hand does the thing again.
His hand does the crackling thing again, but like, it's like...
worse.
It's worse. And then it starts getting worse and worse the farther away he gets until it's like in his legs. Yeah. And it's like breaking his legs almost, or like fucking with his bones.
Makes him collapse on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and he's literally like crawling on his fucking knees and like trying to like get up on the wall on the side to just like keep moving, but it just gets worse and worse to the point of war.
His vision like straight up blurs and he can't see, and so like they do the same thing like with the camera, right, where it's super blurry and he's like looking over, and the thing, the Mezek, with his head turned backwards is walking towards him, and he fucking crawls his way, like trying to move away from it, and he ends up crawling back to the house, and like his knuckles get all like fucked up from where he was like dragging himself with his hands. Yeah, because he like trips at one point and like falls on one of his hands that's like super crunchy, and you're like, oh. Yeah, and so as he starts moving back towards the house, the closer he gets to the house, the more of his body he can move again, and so by the time he's like at the stairs, he has full body movement. He like takes a deep breath and he's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And he tries to like move in the opposite directions, and he like gets another bone thing, and he's like,
yeah, he's like, oh, fuck.
So he goes up the stairs, and the camera angle of this was pretty good. Of like, it shows all of the stairs and him walking up the stairs, but it doesn't show the door. Mm-hmm. And so it gets to him being on the edge of frame, and then scoots over, and he's face to back of head of the Mezek.
Yeah. Again, fucking terrifying. But then you see it, like, turn halfway.
It starts to turn, and he fucking
like,
shoves
its
himself...
fucking head, and you see, like, just, like, half of its face. I don't even know what... It's fucking creepy.
It's like... It reminds me a lot of, like, when we watched All Hallows Eve and those, like, fleshy face things, except it's, like, carved Chelsea grin is, like, bloody. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to explain because it's, again, like, 2 frames. You do not see this thing for long. No. At least not the full face of it.
No, it's very quick.
It freaks him out, and homie, like, sends himself flying back off of the stairs, cracking his head on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
and he blacks out.
Cuts.
And it goes, he blacks out, and then we get the flashback again. And it shows what we now know is his little brother in a fucking headlock by one of these drunk, I'm assuming drunk because they're fucking dicks, men, holding in this little child in a headlock and cutting off his side locks, his little blonde side locks. And the kid gets away and runs in front of a car and gets hit.
Yeah, like, gets out of their arms and, like... fucking runs into the street and gets hit by a car.
And obviously the 3 drunk fucking dickheads run away, leaving Yakov. Why? Leaving Yakov to go and like cradle his dead brother, which like anything to do with like injuries like that, do not touch them. Yeah. If they have a neck injury, a spine injury, you're gonna make it worse. We don't even know if he's probably dead. I'm not gonna lie. But, like, we don't know that for sure, and you touching him isn't gonna be any better. But I get it. So he, like, cradles his brother and is, like, freaking out and crying.
But also, like, if you're in Brooklyn, I'm sorry, I don't think the cars are gonna be able to drive fast enough to really, like...
They were in, like, a construction area, so it was, like...
But even more so, you're not supposed to drive fast in construction areas.
Yeah, but everyone does.
I know, but like there's so much traffic in New York that you almost can't drive fast. Right?
I mean, that's what we know of New York. I don't know if that's accurate. Know.
I just like clogged up streets and that. I mean, I guess it's like nighttime, so like maybe not as much. I don't fucking know. It just seems to me that in a very rural area, like...
Yeah, but anything faster than 15 miles per hour is what can kill a kid. That's why that's the speed limit. So he could have been doing 25 because it's a construction zone. Guess... And that kid is like 8.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Yeah, because I mean the kid doesn't go flying.
No. He definitely just fucking... It probably, yeah, it's like a 1-2, like head hit by car and then the head hitting concrete. Yeah. And that's what does it. It's not necessarily like the impact fucking breaking everything. It's more so like, you know...
That would be my guess, yeah.
Just right into the ground. I don't know. I'm not trying to picture an 8-year-old getting hit by a car.
And they don't show it. Like, they don't show him actually getting hit. They just show the aftermath of it.
There's no gore or anything in this movie.
No, this movie is very free of all gore. There's some blood.
I think the grossest thing is the hairball thing.
Yeah,
or, like, seeing the face of, like, the
for, like, this type of movie, it's very gore-free.
Yeah.
There's, like, blood, there's the hairball, and then the creepy head turned around face guy. But, like, anything, that's it. Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't even clock that till now.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Well, he wakes up in the chair he slept in earlier.
Yeah.
All patched up. He's got some cotton balls stuck to the top of his head, like some gauze, and then his hand is all wrapped up.
Even darker.
Oh,
in
it's
the house.
so dark.
It's so dark.
Like,
in
you
the
can
house.
see him in his chair, and like I don't even think you can make out the wallpaper in the scene now.
It's just very, 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 very dark.
And then he like crashes out hard. He breaks down. He's crying. He's saying, "It's all my fault. I couldn't move. I was stricken by fear. I let this happen to you." And then he looks over, and Lotvik is gone.
Yep.
And he then starts laughing. And like, you know what? Yeah, dude, just what the hell is the situation? He just hysterically is like crying. And he calls Sarah, but it goes straight to voicemail. She then FaceTimes him back.
Yeah.
And did you clock it? Did you hear it? It's the same echoey, staticky thing that was with the doctor that wasn't the real doctor.
I didn't even hear the static from the fake doctor, so like,
oh, shit.
I didn't clock it. I mean, I obviously knew that, like, I didn't think that it... So, we'll explain what happens and then I'll talk about it. But yeah, so like, she FaceTimes him.
Really weirdly, by the way, she's still like she's laying full ass in bed with the phone like held at her waist, staring down at it, being like, "What's up?"
Yeah, like, so...
Like if you held it in your crotch and like we're looking down like, "Hey, how's it going?"
So funny.
He tells her everything.
Yeah.
Just off the bat is like, "Hey, there's a weird demon in this house and I think I'm cursed and all this stuff is really bad." And she's like, "What?
Like, what the fuck?
What's going on? Like, tell me more." And she's like, "Have you tried to leave the house?" And he's like, "Yeah, it won't let me leave." And she's like so nonchalant about the whole situation. And then like super chill, she's like, "Well, you have to go upstairs." She says that in English and then again in Yiddish.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, and she says it in English and then in Yiddish says, "There's no reason fighting it."
Yeah.
No reason to fight it. And this is something that like I don't think we super touched on a lot, but like in the group in the start of the movie, they flip-flopped quite a bit between Yiddish and English.
Yeah, so you have a mix of like English speaking and Yiddish speaking dialogue throughout the movie because like between the prayers and like, I mean, it is like...
Did you notice how it lined up though? So our main character, Yaakov, rarely spoke Yiddish.
Yeah.
The entire time he was almost always speaking English.
Yeah.
The group of people were kind of flip-flopping between, like, if you know anyone who knows two languages, like, who are around other people who speak the same language, like, they'll just pick random phrases that are just then, like, my family does this all the time with Spanish. Like, half of a sentence will be in English and then the other half is in Spanish, and they just flip-flop so easily because that's the way their brains work. That's how, like, it's wired. But the Reb only spoke in Yiddish.
Yeah.
He only said words that I don't think had a translation of in English, but spoke in Yiddish all the rest of the time. Mrs. Litvak spoke a lot of Yiddish and then ends up speaking English. Mm-hmm. And then Yaakov slowly starts speaking Yiddish again. By the end of the movie, he's like full Yiddish with English words instead of it being reversed.
Yeah, I didn't even clock that either.
Yeah, so Sarah, didn't speak any Yiddish in the meeting. She was only speaking English, and now she's switched into Yiddish, and I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Like, if I wasn't sure before, I'm fucking sure now of her telling you to go upstairs, man.
Damn.
She yells at him about his little brother, saying, "You just watched him die. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you?" And, like, she says that, and, like, these two blackened hands, so, like, the fingertips to about mid-wrist are black, and then it fades into, like, a flesh tone, grabs her face and drags her off camera.
Oh, yeah. Which, a little out of place, it felt like, because those hands were...
I think they did the flesh tones because she's sitting in the dark, and without that, I don't think you would have been able to, like, catch the difference.
Yeah, I guess it just...
They're not radishes.
Well, so, not even... Honestly, you said radishes, but you know what came to mind when I saw them? fucking Jim Carrey's The Grinch, like with his fucking fingers and just the way that the fur like curls at the end.
The reason I said radishes is because they're like chunky.
I know exactly.
Or like ginger, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. Like, yeah, when you get a bulb of ginger or like, you know, like
it's
just rough.
they're
like,
not very fingy.
Not a potato, but like close.
Yeah, or like a wonky carrot.
Yeah, like a special carrot.
This will make so much sense here in about 10 minutes. But
yeah,
this effect, because Mr. Litvak comes back, but his body just doesn't reappear. So the gurney's there with the sheet laying on it, and he like bubbles back into existence.
Yeah,
raising the sheet back up and like fills it out, and then it sits up, like fucking slams up, and blood starts seeping out from where the eyes should be, and it's Bjork.
Bjork.
That's why I was like, I feel like that's wrong because that feels more like Swedish. But the way I wrote it is Byrch, like for phonetic. So Bjork. They only say his name a handful of times, so it was really hard to catch, guys.
Yeah.
Asking Yakov, why did you let me die?
Yeah.
And Yakov,
Poor Yakov.
He's like, I was weak and I was succumbed by fear, and he's like holding this body to his chest, just cradling it, rocking back and forth, talking about how weak and terrible he was, and like he couldn't move and it's all his fault. And as he's getting to the end of his speech, he like clutches really hard and the body disappears and he's just holding the sheet again.
Yeah, it's super eerie. It's good.
And then he walks to the stairs and my notes are, no, don't listen to the fake pretty lady. Don't go upstairs.
Yep, but then he just fucking charges up into the darkness with the biggest pair of balls I've ever seen on a man, because Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Not even...
He doesn't even have his flashlight.
Not even a waiver, not even just a stop for a half a second as like he just fucking goes.
He's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going upstairs. And he goes upstairs and he goes into Mrs. Litvak's room, where she's sitting in front of a mirror, but the mirror is covered with a blanket, and there's a bunch of like wigs on headstands, like the foam heads that you put wigs on.
But one of them had like a bunch of scratches, or like, I don't know, it kind of looked like someone just like stabbed the top of it a bunch in the back. Did you not see that?
No, because I
don't think it matters necessarily. It just like one of them looked like it had been damaged. Like,
weird. Like, yeah, I was writing these notes and like trying to do all the other stuff. Like, I knew I was missing stuff as it was happening.
Like, almost as if someone just took like, not even scissors, but just like something, for some reason, like a comb came into mind of someone just like fucking like
over it,
just like smacking it or like scratching it or something. Like, I don't know, it just looked fucked up.
Weird.
But yeah, she ends up giving...
She says, he asks, he's like, where's your husband or something? And she's like, he's down the hall.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, thank you for bandaging me up. And she's like, that was Mr. Litvak. She calls him Ruben.
Yeah.
She's like, that was Ruben. And he's like, uh-huh. And where is he? And she's like, he's down the hall. She then is like, take this with you. And she sets a bag down and like moves a candle over to him, and he goes over to it, and you don't see it at first because it's in a bag. It's in a blue bag with, again, the Star of David on it. He pulls out his yarmulke from his back pocket. So like he is struggling, like we saw with Signs, like struggling with your fate. Like, not, I guess Signs is a bad example because like he was like, no, fuck you, I'm done with it. Where like Yakov is like actually struggling with the separation. Like he still carries his yarmulke. He's still like, and that's why he was like fussing with his hair, because he like cut off his side locks and like didn't know how to handle it. Like he's very much struggling with the separation of his religion. Yeah,
he's trying to like, you can tell that he doesn't understand his identity outside of that. Like it's always just been. Well,
yeah, and he's like late 20s, maybe like mid to late 20s. Like this is all his life has ever been, and like at that, like that's, you know, for us, like reinventing yourself or like getting rid of a big part of yourself at that point in life is hard as fuck.
Yeah,
like
man.
Obviously you're gonna struggle. He ends up opening the bag, and they're prayer boxes, which is the English name for them.
That's what those were.
Thin. So it's Tefillin. But when I looked up the pronunciation,
Flynn.
what was it? Telfin I was like, that's not right. It's not Telfin.
Flynn.
So the... Tefillin.
Yeah.
I promise you, we're looking at pronunciations. We're doing our best.
They're prayer boxes.
The prayer boxes, which if you've seen anything Jewish, you have seen these before. You just didn't know you had seen them before.
Yes, 100%.
They have leather. It's like a box, and then off the box are very long leather straps, and one goes on your forehead, and then the other one goes on your bicep, and it wraps around your forearm into your hand.
Yep.
And that's where I saw it. There's a prayer that what he's whispering, there's a prayer you say while you're putting those on. And so he's like blessing them or doing the ritual of what you're supposed to do when you're putting them on. And that also had the other like songs and things you can do during a vigil.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So he does that, and then he puts his yarmulke on, and he puts the prayer boxes on.
He lights the candle.
And she tells him a story about her grandparents. And I didn't really catch all of this because I was doing other things. But she says something about... Did you catch any of it? Sorry.
She says something about how, like, her grandpa... God, it was like he... I don't even remember.
It's a short story, and I can't remember if it's good or bad, but she does talk something about... I'm assuming it's a good story because she's, like, prepping him for this thing that's about to happen.
Yeah, it was something good. I don't know why. I'm just like... It fucking came and went. Because it was something about her grandpa, and it was something sweet, because it was like I really don't remember. I hate that. It says some sort of story about her grandpa, which has some sort of special meaning.
Damn, it might not be a yarmulke. That's what I was double checking.
What was it? What did it look like that he pulled out?
So that's what I'm looking at the differences from here. So a kippah?
Kippah?
Is the standard Hebrew word for traditional skull cap worn by Jews. This cap is worn at all times. So it could be... If we got that wrong, I'm sorry. I've always heard it called a yarmulke.
We're trying our best. Yamok?
That one.
Or kippah? Kippah?
Because that's the one where they're...
Kippah? Listen, man.
It could still be a yarmulke. I might still be correct. I just didn't know there were different terms, and that's my bad. I should have double-checked earlier.
See, because I've seen yamok and yarmulke, and I thought yamok was just how you spelled yarmulke. But then I was like, wait, no, those are different words. So, like, I don't fucking know. I'm sorry.
We apologize.
Yeah, so he ends up lighting the candle, and...
He recites the prayers.
And he goes out into the hall, and he looks down, and it's just fucking blackness. All of a sudden, you see this light turn on. And it's really cool because this light at the end of this hall, the way that the light bounces off the ceiling and the walls and everything, it doesn't like quite reach the ceiling or the floor, but it reaches the walls. So the way the lighting is bouncing around at the end of the hall, it looks like an eye.
Okay, I was
and
also going to say that.
It looks like it's like looking at you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so I thought it was
sick.
crazy.
No.
But it was like, it straight up looks like an eye the way it's set up. And I was like, oh my God, it's staring at him.
They definitely did that on purpose.
It looks,
I think.
It looks so cool. And then he starts walking into it, and as he gets closer, if you have ever seen at least the first Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger does the same shit, where he like shoves himself into the wall, and the wall like holds him back, and it's like that
stretches.
fabric.
Yeah, like the wall stretches with it, and like but doesn't like tear. So you see like the outline of like humanoid faces and hands like trying to push through the walls, and like they're reaching like really close to Yakov as he's like walking through this hall.
Yeah, there's like two people, at least two people on each side. Like he has to like maneuver himself to not be touched by them as he's trying to like head to the Mezek. Did I say that right?
Mezek.
I've said it so many times now.
Mezek.
The Mezek, as he's trying to head to the Mezek down the hall, and like he's like dodging hands and going in, and like it starts changing its form as he gets closer to it. So like it looked like just the candle at first, and then it was the Mezek with the candle, and then it turns into his brother, and then it turns into him, and it like stays on him, and he's like staring himself in the eyes, and like as it kind of like shifts from like who he is now to who he was when his brothers died, and it's like this weird like shifty shit happening.
And then he fucking shoves his candle into the Mezek's face, which is his face, and it like freaks the fuck out and starts like screaming, and then its head bursts into flames.
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
All the while he is saying like prayers and doing all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff too, and it just like zooms out and it's dawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
He heads downstairs to Mr. Latvik's body, and as he's walking down the stairs, you hear the bone body crackles of
Yeah.
the entire time. And as you get into view of the living room, the body under the sheet is just snap, crackle, popping down there.
Yeah. It's twisting and popping and locking and grooving under that sheet, all while someone is walking back and forth on the graveliest gravel you've ever heard, because it's just crunching away under the sheet.
It's like a lot. Like this body is contorting.
Yeah.
So Yavik,
To the point where like Yavik goes to sit down and pray. And
Yakov.
like
I'm going to say it wrong.
Yakov, he goes and he bends his head down and he just starts praying. And he like tries to put his hand on the body, but like it's spazzing, so he kind of like...
He's like locks, like death grips this guy's, I don't know, knee, elbow, something, and like is praying. He's just like praying this entire time and like gets through the prayer, gets halfway through the prayer, and he's like, let him go. Pray some more. And he's like, let him go, and just like keeps repeating prayers and keeps saying, let him go. Back to the opening scene again with the young woman and the guy pointing the gun, and it's a Nazi over the guy's shoulder, like the creepy, the guy yelling at the boy to shoot is a Nazi. And then we get the shambling Mazik in the background, and it cuts between Yakov praying and the touching, the shadow, and then the boy gets his like wrapped around by fucking salad finger carrot boy hand. Like, dude, these fingers, I don't know. Because, like, I was down for everything until these fingers came to be. Like, the fingers really threw me off. Because they're not scary. It really makes me want to bite them like they're carrots.
They're gross. They're, like, chubby-ish.
They're chubby and, like, angled, funky.
Long, and again, like, the ends of them curl like fucking
fur.
Jim Carrey's The Grinch. How his fingers, like, the end of them kind of, like, curl up. Like, it's fucking weird.
And it's like holding the boy, and so as Yakov is praying and saying let him go, you can see like the hands kind of like slowly receding, and it kind of rewrites the memory a little bit too, because it shows the boy like not shooting, like putting the gun down.
Yeah.
And, you know, it kind of reverses the entire scene until the Mezek backs away and it goes back into the forest, and kind of like reverse of it coming forward. It reverses back into the fog until you can no longer see it.
Yeah.
And the sun rises and the body stills.
And then
Mrs. Latvik comes downstairs and she's like, "Oh, how I missed him," and she's like petting his chest and just like saying what an amazing man he was, and how
like,
she was so curious what kind of father he could be.
How she misses him.
And this woman, holy shit, 5 decades. 5 decades she's probably been with this man the entire time, right? She stuck with him through demons.
Yeah.
Saw him at his weakest point and was like, he was an amazing man and I love him and I miss him so much. And I like,
Goals.
Holy shit, dude.
Goals.
Like, that's a fucking wild. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go on a walk, because we knew she couldn't fucking leave the house ever.
She's like, I'm gonna go out into the sun. Yakov's like, yeah.
Yeah, you deserve that.
Hell yeah. You see her go out, walk off. Reb comes to the house with a couple guys, the guys that come to
the mortuary guys.
Yeah.
Can I just say though, it's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning and homie's already chain smoking.
I get it though.
So I know I'm weird about this. Like, I don't smoke until after 10 o'clock. Like, I read this thing one time where it's like, it's good to give your lungs a rest, so you should like break for like 12 hours. And so like, I do not start smoking until after 10 o'clock in the morning, and now with my work schedule I don't start smoking until like at like noon 30. And so like for me, and maybe it's because I vape and like how sweet it is, like I have a hard time like doing anything super sweet in the morning.
Oh bro, when I was smoking cigarettes, I was like, nicotine was the first thing I fucking needed in the morning.
Don't get me wrong, when it comes to cigarettes, like cigarettes and a hot cup of coffee, that's fair. Like, thinking of it as a cigarette first thing in the morning, I can totally understand, versus like all of the flavors I get from my vape are like hella sweet candy flavors. Thinking of it in that.
Like, dude is in a culture that does not allow him much humanly pleasures. So like,
he could have a wife. He could be allowed touch.
No, I mean that's fair.
No, you're right though.
But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just kind of I feel like in those cases, or in any kind of cultural, like, or like religious groups,
You take your vices.
Yeah, like, that deny people a lot of those kinds of things, like, they will then lead heavily into the vices that they're allowed to have.
Mormons with soda pop.
Yeah.
Catholics with wine.
Yeah. So...
Christians with capitalism.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so...
The Reb meets the mortuary men, and they all kind of go in the house, are collecting the body, and he goes up to Yakov, and he's like, hey, so morning prayers, right? Like, you good?
So, I really believed that, like, I definitely think that this night would have changed you, so, like, would you come to morning prayer with me? And Yakov looks at him and goes, bro... Fuck you, no. Nothing has changed. Like, I don't know what you want from me. And then just walks out the fucking door.
Because, like, he says, like, not today, right? And it's just, like, because what we saw with Signs was he was like, oh, I'm a pastor again.
Yeah.
And with this movie, it seems like even though he used, like, reclaimed his religion in such a way that he could use it to fight the evil forces he was seeing, like, he's not wearing his I don't want to misname it again, so I'm just going to call it a skull cap. Kippa?
We'll call it kippa.
Kippa? He's not wearing it anymore.
Yeah.
He's not wearing, like, obviously the prayers are over, so he's not wearing the prayer boxes. But he's not wearing that anymore. Like, he just, like, seemed to kind of be like, yeah, that's what I needed in the moment. But, like, I don't know, maybe it is him just, like, coming to terms with the identity and how close he wants to be to his religion and, like, where he wants to land with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could go one of two ways. Like, I think it's either the fact that, like, going through all of that and still being solid in his feelings of, like, no, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Or it could also be like, oh no, this confirmed for me that, like, I don't need to be a part of this group necessarily, but I can still practice the religion within myself.
Yeah.
And it's still valid because, like, I think... in his head, he's probably thinking, well, even someone who's excommunicated them, or maybe not excommunicated, but, like, left the community, like, even though I've done that, I am still allowed the holy graces to be able to, like...
practice this way.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because one of my friends' moms was really, really Catholic, like, Mass every Sunday, like, did the whole thing, and then during COVID, when she couldn't do that, she had, like, a reckoning with it and was like, oh my God, like, I can still be Catholic the way I want to be Catholic. And, like, I don't have to do it this way. Yeah. And so, like, I think she goes, like, once a month now. And obviously for, like, Christmas Mass and, like, Easter Mass and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, she's, like, she came to, like, a whole new understanding of her own religion because, like, something changed. And so I could definitely see him seeing it that way of, like, I can still have my religion, but I don't have to practice it your way.
Yeah. I do not ever feel like sharing very strong political or religious beliefs or opinions on this podcast.
Oh, agreed.
But I will always agree to that specifically, that, like...
you can practice your religion the way you want to.
If a motherfucker tells you you are not Christian, not Catholic, because you don't go to church every Sunday, they're the biggest fucking bigots you'll probably ever meet. And I will die on that fucking hill.
No, I agree.
It's hypocritical.
If it's not vibing for you, man, there's someone who vibes with you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, 100%. We hope that you guys also enjoyed, like, this sort of... is a bit of a branch off from, like, what you're used to, I think.
It is. Like, there's two more sentences of how the movie ends.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
He ends up leaving, and as he's leaving, he gets, like, a weird chest or shoulder pain, and he, like, knocks it off, and he's like, oh, whatever. And so he texts Sarah and is like, coffee? And he's gonna go have that coffee date finally. And, like, the camera just, like, because it was focused on Yakov, right? So when he leaves frame, it's still just, like, this kind of unfocused frame of the house. And you just watch this, like, tall, dark shadow leave the house and then start walking towards the frame. So it kind of insinuates that it is now following Yakov.
Yeah, very creepy. But, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I just wanted to get the last, like, how it
100%.
actually ends out.
No, I just wanted to say, like, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, because this was very different from what we usually do. And we want to continue to try and, like, branch out and find the
lesser known.
Yeah, like the gems that are kind of like from all over. You know, we don't want to just stick to what's known within like our English speaking fucking American brains. Like we want it all.
Yeah, and especially I love, and this is obviously an American made movie. I don't know why I said obviously. This is an American made movie, just, you know, it has the Jewish themes over it, and fucking loved it. A bunch of people on
fantastic.
Reddit. A bunch of people on Reddit were talking about, like, if this didn't come out with Midsommar, Us, and there was another big one it came out with, like, that was competing with a bunch of, like, big name ones, that this would probably have more love than it does.
Oh, 100%.
I saw one critic who was like, it's just the same horror movie plot with Jewish themes over it. And it's like, yes, but like that's every horror movie ever, right?
Yeah.
Like how many Christian-based movies do we see where it's this plot, but it's just like
I'm sorry,
same.
how many Paranormal Activity movies are there?
Yes.
Shut your fucking mouth. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, and I liked the fact that it did not try to explain any of the Jewish traditions to you. It was like, this is what it is. If you don't know what the fuck it is, figure it the fuck out, which is what Christian movies do all of the fucking time. They're like, you should know what the crucifix is and what the
you should know what this symbolizes when I fucking hate it too. They don't hold your hand at all. So if you don't know, you don't fucking know. It's just how it is.
It is. And I did see that someone tried to watch it on Shudder and that the subtitles were really bad. We ended up renting it from Amazon Prime, and they did have the Yiddish subtitles translated into English, so we got the full... We got to see everything. Apparently the one on Shudder was... And I don't know if this is true. I forgot to look at the date of when this was. The one on Shudder did the thing where it's like, speaks in foreign language.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
And that's that's
a lot.
That's a lot of this movie. This is like half of the movie where they split between English and Yiddish quite a bit. Like, you are missing a lot of the movie if you don't know what they're saying.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awful. Because that's just like...
lazy as shit.
100%. That's just like kind of disrespectful almost. Because like, if you... I'm sorry. You're going to have so many people that are going to turn that movie on and then get to that point and be like, I'm not going to be able to understand a major plot point. What's the point of continuing this movie? Yeah, and then they're going to turn it off.
Thinking about it, you're missing so much context.
That fucking pisses me off. I hate it.
I hate it in movies when it's just like, oh, it's like one scene and it's like 3 sentences and it's like, oh, speaks in German. But like, this is half the fucking movie and you're not going to try at all?
It's like, imagine watching Inglourious Bastards without fucking
German subtitles.
Yeah. Like, you'd be like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah. So Amazon Prime does have it where the subtitles are good. I think we rented it for like $6.
Dude, go rent it. It's really fucking good. I actually really it's a really good movie.
No, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The fisheye lens really threw me for a loop at first. That like it took me out of the movie until I like zoned in on it just being like a kind of feeling of what's real, what's not. But like because I'm so into cinematography and stuff, I'm like, this is terrible. Yeah. Like it took me a second to get used to the very big wide shots and the fisheye lens, and then once you get used to it, or if you go in expecting that, like it's fine. Like I loved the set dressing in this movie, which is something I always complain about. I loved that the apartment at the beginning was like a bachelor pad where there's like soda bottles on the table and then there's like fucking nothing. But the lip box house completely decked out in old lady stuff. There was like crocheted shit. Like the mirror being covered was an extra
this is gonna be like only to very specific people maybe, because like you've probably not played this video game. You've probably watched a YouTuber play it because it's fucking terrifying. But it gives, if anyone's seen or played Visage, it gives those vibes like heavily. I'll send you. I don't know any like Let's Players that you maybe like.
I don't really watch any of them. I'm not I've watched Game Grumps and I've seen Jacksepticeye play some things, but like I don't really follow any Let's Players, so just send me whatever one you think is best.
Yeah, I will, because like terrifying game. But you'll also see like similar vibes because it's like old lady home, but it's like a big, It's like a big 80s old lady home. It's fucking creepy as shit.
And on that note, we do actually want to stream shit on YouTube or Twitch. I don't know yet. We haven't.
Yeah.
I have a new, because I still have to have a day job. This doesn't pay anything. Once I get my work schedule figured out, we do want to start trying to see if we can stream maybe every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, figure out like when we can stream, get some stuff going. Because there are a bunch of horror games that we actually also want to play. Like Until Dawn came out this year and I love that game. And we play Phasmophobia quite regularly. There's Abiotic Factor that we're playing.
Dude, we could play The Thing.
We can play The Thing.
Because they remastered it.
There's the Friday the 13th game. There's a bunch of games that we want to start streaming and kind of branch out a little bit because we don't want to just focus on horror movies for this. There's so much other horror media that we love. There's, we talked about Alter, the YouTube channel, on one of the other episodes. There's fucking creepypasta. Not that I really want to cover creepypastas on main channel, maybe if we do Patreon, because like there's so many other podcasts that cover creepypastas and do it really well.
I could definitely do like a page, like a segment where like we'll just sit and read some fucking creepypastas or something.
Yeah, like I would love it if we could just be like, hey, y'all send us creepypastas you want us to read, because there are so many I don't know about. Like I know about the big ones and the copy pastas and stuff like that, but there's so much that like Creepcast does with Papa Meat and Windigoon that like I started watching those and I was like, oh, holy shit, like I haven't even heard of this one.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fucking
amount.
media. And we mentioned this also on another episode that we were reading The Long Walk by Stephen King. Like there are books and stuff. It's The Long Walk, right? In a Long Mile. Yeah. There are books and stuff we also want to cover, and we talked about with like books.
The Long Meander.
God, yeah. Stephen King, man. I can't wait till we cover that because I have things to say.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about maybe doing like an extra episode a week or not a week, but like an extra episode a month where it's like a book we read like recently and doing that kind of stuff. So we are trying to branch out. There are obviously also comic books, like good horror comic books that are out, or horror manga. There are anime. There's so much media. Anyways, just to say,
sorry.
like, there's a lot of other media we want to cover. We obviously are like starting with horror movies because it's a good like intro. It's who doesn't like fucking horror movies, right? Like,
yeah, not everyone likes to read either, and not everyone plays video games.
And a lot of people, anime is kind of getting more mainstream nowadays, but like back in the day it wasn't. So these are extra things that like maybe we'll do like again like an extra episode a month where we're like, oh, let's like talk about like Higurashi, or like, hey, like we just played this game, or like where we'll add it in as kind of a bonus episode per month and see where everyone else kind of lands with it. Right now, our episodes that are doing the best are weapons. Like the newer horror movies that have come out are doing the best because I think they have the most traction right now.
Yeah.
But if there's anything you guys want us to watch, hit us up on Instagram. We have a lovely social media manager, so bug the shit out of her and we'll find out about it.
Yas Queen.
But yeah, let us know what you guys would like us to see.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, as always.
Till next time.